Okay, today we're going to discuss user management, security, and group management. So let's see how we can, organize Blueworks Live so that one particular group only has access to a particular space and its artifacts. Okay, the first thing we need to do is actually, create the spaces and the user groups. So let's go create some user groups first. So we already have the default teams, plus a camera team. Just going to add a new team over here called the Sydney team. Let's change the photo as well, so make it a bit more recognizable. Here we go, at the Opera House, of course. Let's resize a little bit. Done. So that's our Sydney group. We're gonna add some people in the Sydney group. Let's get that button over here, and this is the person that's in Sydney. All right, so we're gonna add that person over there. You always need to have one admin in the group. If I add him, I can remove myself to the team. So they make sure that I cannot see or manage that team anymore. So this person now also becomes the manager of that group. I just given up access to it. Okay, so once we have that group here, camera team and the Sydney team, we of course going to create our spaces. Let's create a few test spaces. So health space 1, camera. Got nothing in there, and then we're going to create another space, health space Sydney. All right, go back to our main. All right, so we got two spaces over here, camera and Sydney. So if we go to the Sydney one, we have to go to the user tab. So in the user tab, we can see who actually has created and who actually has access to the space. So right now, I cannot remove myself because I'm the space manager, so I need to add a new manager first and transfer ownership again. So we're going to add our Sydney team to this particular space. You can see over there. We're going to make this person the admin. We also, if we don't want anybody else to see that space, we're going to remove all the default user groups, all editors, all admins. And finally, we have to reduce our, our privileges, and we can remove ourselves. Okay, so now the Sydney team is only visible and manageable by the Sydney people. Here we go. So from the camera team, we also have to make some changes. So if we go here, we don't want everybody else to actually see the space, so we're going to remove access to the team from Sydney. So basically only the people in this group, the camera team, have access now to the space. When I remove myself. Now the reason why you don't really want to have people here but groups instead is because you can then simply add and remove people from groups, and you don't have to go to each individual space and manage access again. So it's a bit easier to work with groups than with spaces. As you can see here, the Canberra space as well as the Sydney space are still both visible. However, you can see from the squiggly line behind Canberra, that one actually has the details, and the Sydney one does not have details. Now, in the second user, there will be no Canberra space at all visible. You will only be able to see the Sydney space. Now, the reason why that is because the person that created the Canberra space is also a generic admin. So this person can by default see all spaces. Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully this was a useful session.